probably seen a lot of videos talking about different types of ways you can go about adding better, not necessarily better, but a more pixel retro art style of color to your pixel art. Hey guys, welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are taking a look at how to create pixel art palettes and colors and just make your pixel art pop just a little bit more and make it not look so clashy. I guess that's a word that I'll use throughout this entire tutorial. Clashy. We don't want it to look clashy. We want it to look like it's all one solid pixel art. So, first thing I'm going to do is I have open a 64 by 64 canvas here. I'm going to go ahead and drag away my canvas, my palette, and get rid of all those colors because we don't need them. Now, what we don't want to do, we want to stay away from harsh contrasting colors. Like what I said, what I mean by when I say that is, you see we have this solid black right here, right? And if I paint with that, and then I go ahead and grab a red and paint with that, you can see how contrasty that is. Now this is like 1982 graphics, right? You know, you had the little demon guy, and there's a wizard, and he had a blue hat. Yeah, no, that's not what we want. It's really, really harsh, and it's really, really difficult to look at for long periods of time. What we're going to want to do is, instead of going with the black, what we'll do is we'll either go with a nice soft dark gray, maybe something like that, or what I see a lot of people do is really popular in the pixel art community, we'll actually go with like a dark purple. We'll go with a dark purple, something like that, just very, very slightly tinted. You can see if I zoom in here, you can see just how slightly purple that is. It looks really, really nice as a line art. Which is what we're talking about right now, by the way. Go ahead and get rid of that. I can go ahead and do a little bit of line art here. We'll do two separate ones. So I'll do maybe like a little character. Maybe his nose is big, right? And his face comes down like that. Maybe he has a neck hole for the shirt, and then his body goes down from there. Yeah, right. So we have that. Now what I want to do is we can go ahead and do two different versions of this guy right here. So if I go ahead and copy this guy and we put him over there, you can see what we're gonna do is we're gonna make two different versions. We're gonna make a harsh version, and we're gonna make a not so harsh version. So the one on the right over here is gonna be our harsh guy, and the guy on the left is gonna be our not harsh guy. So I'm gonna make a new color, and let's say I want this guy to be blue. We'll make this guy blue. We'll give him a nice blue color. So what you shouldn't probably be wanting to do, if you want to have a softer pixel art palette style, what you shouldn't probably do is go ahead and drag this to the deep, deep blue section right there and drag that all the way up. Because what you're going to get is that. Ooh, and yeah, no. It's very difficult. As you can see, it's very bright, very clashy. There's my word for the video. We're going to drag this closer to a softer blue, maybe something like that. And we're going to drag this down. We're going to desaturate it, and we're going to also lighten it up a bit. And we're going to do something like that instead. You see how that's much better already just to look at rather than that blue. Now, maybe I want his shirt to be white. We want his shirt to be white, so I'm going to go over here, and nope. We will paint this solid white over here on the right hand side. You can see how that's very, very clashy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drag this down a little bit to a very light light gray, maybe a little bit of blue in there, and we'll do the same thing over no. We'll do the same thing over here. And you can see how we have something that's already, like I said, much nicer. We'll go ahead and we'll do a little bit of shadows. And I'll go ahead and I'll bring this blue color a little bit more towards the bluish purple, maybe something like that. And we'll darken it, but we want to make sure we're not darkening it like this. We don't want this. So if I go ahead and maybe do a little bit of shading right there, right? Maybe something like that. Yeah, that's not what we want right there. What we want is something more along the lines of this. Maybe I'll make that a little bit more blue rather than purple. We want something more like this. Maybe saturate it just a little bit more maybe. Just a little bit of saturation in there, a little bit more, right? Something like that. Looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and fill in the same pixels that we did before, right? So you can see the difference that this is making. Now we will also go ahead, and I'm trying to maintain the less saturated, so we don't want to go all the way up to the top here, and we don't want to go all the way to the right. That's the problem here. We want to stay somewhere around like the 75 mark, I guess, and then we'll go ahead and push that over and back and forth, depending on what color we want. We don't want to go all the way to the right, and we don't want to go all the way to the top. That's what I'm trying to avoid here. So stay away from this edge, and stay away from the top edge, unless you're like way over here. So we'll go ahead. We'll grab this. We'll grab this gray color with the eyedropper. And I'll go ahead and I'll just drag this down into the blue. We'll drag it down to the blue, and we'll try and grab a shadow for this guy over here. We'll do something like an arm shadow, so maybe something like that. Drag that down, and maybe we'll do that. And then on this side we'll do that, maybe that. Yeah, something like that looks pretty good. But for this side, no. We don't have those lighter shadows over here. What we have for the white is we have this nice solid bulky gray. That's what we have for this side over here. Doesn't it look fantastic? I just love the way it looks. We're gonna do a couple more things here. Once again, I'm gonna take this eyedrop. I keep doing that because I forgot to reset my. It's I, not P. All right, we're gonna go ahead and drop his eyes in. You can see that the gray's a little bit too light for his eyes, so we will brighten this up a little bit, just a little bit though. Do something like that, right? And for his pupils, we will once again will not go with the solid black. We'll go with the same color as the line art here, which is what we want. I'll go ahead and do something like that, and maybe like that. We might have a little bit of a problem there, so I might want to go ahead and, if I do that one more time, and put that white right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. But for this side, oh my lord, what we have for this side, you can see we got some gorgeous darkness. Oh my gosh! If I hit P instead of I one more time, there we go. Doesn't this side just look so much better than this side over here? It really does, doesn't it? I mean, just honestly. And I think that's gonna be it. I mean, you can see the difference that this has taken, in that the little bit of changes that we've made. You can see. I will lighten this gray up a little bit. We'll do something like that. That's a little unfair for that guy. There we go. So you can see the difference just softening those colors makes. So instead of going all the way up here to this red, we'll bring it down first. We'll bring it down to a darker color. Then we'll bring it over to the left, right? So then we can paint with that. You can see it's a nice soft red. That's nice and pleasing to look at instead of this guy right here. That's not what we need. That's not what we need. So, I hope you guys learned something from this tutorial, this color tutorial. Oh, we just zoom out on that. Oh my lord. I hope you guys learned something new. I hope to see you guys in the next pixel art tutorial, or the next other tutorial. Doesn't even have to be pixel art. I'll see you guys in whatever tutorial you show up on next time. I'll see you guys then. Hope you guys learned something new. I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then, bye.